Ethan Cole had everything money could buy: luxury penthouses, private jets, and a tech empire that stretched from Silicon Valley to Singapore. As the elusive CEO of Cole Dynamics, his name appeared regularly on billionaire lists, but rarely in gossip columns. He preferred it that way. What Ethan didn't have was someone who loved him for who he was, not for the black card in his wallet. After one too many dates that ended with subtle questions about yachts and inheritance, he created what he privately called the test. Blind dates only, no last name, no designer suits, no hint of wealth. He would show up as Ethan, a freelance consultant between jobs, driving a 10-year-old sedan and wearing worn denim instead of tailored Armani. And every time, the reaction was the same. Polite smiles faded, interest cooled, phones checked, excuses made. Until he met her. Chapter 2. The Single Mom. Maya Thompson wasn't supposed to be there that night. Her sister had signed her up for the blind date without permission, claiming it was time to live a little. Maya would have preferred staying home in their small rented townhouse, helping her 7-year-old son Liam finish his science project. But here she was, nervous, exhausted from a double shift at the hospital, and wondering why she agreed. When Ethan walked into the cafe, he looked ordinary. Dark jeans, simple jacket, warm brown eyes. Not flashy, not arrogant. Relief washed over her. "Hi," he said, offering a slightly awkward smile. "I must be Maya." There was no expensive watch on his wrist, no air of superiority. Just sincerity. And when he asked about her life, he actually listened. She told him about nursing school loans, about Liam's obsession with dinosaurs, about how hard it was to juggle motherhood and work. He didn't flinch, didn't pity her, didn't try to impress her. Instead, he laughed at her jokes, admired her strength, and admitted, without shame, that he was between contracts and figuring things out. Most women had subtly leaned away at that confession. Maya leaned closer. "That's brave," she said softly. "Starting over takes courage." No one had ever called him brave. Chapter 3. Breaking the rules. The second date wasn't part of the test. Ethan usually ended things after one polite evening, but he couldn't stop thinking about her. So he asked her to dinner again, this time at a modest diner near her neighborhood. Halfway through milkshakes, Maya's phone buzzed. Liam had a fever. Without hesitation, she apologized and prepared to leave. Ethan stood too. "I'll drive you," he offered. At her home, he carried groceries inside and ended up sitting on the living room floor helping Liam build a cardboard volcano for school. Ethan Cole, billionaire tech mogul, was covered in baking soda and red food coloring, making eruption sounds that made Liam laugh hysterically. And something inside him shifted. This wasn't a test anymore. It was real. Chapter 4. The Truth. The secret began to weigh on him. Maya spoke openly about finances, about stretching every dollar, about fearing medical bills, about dreams she'd buried because they felt impossible. Each word felt like a betrayal. He wasn't broke. He owned 3 hospitals, including the one she worked in. The truth came out when a photo surfaced online. Ethan attending a charity gala. The media identified him instantly. Maya saw it during her lunch break. Her hands trembled. That night, when Ethan showed up at her door, she didn't invite him in. "You lied," she said quietly. "I hid the truth," he corrected gently, "because I needed to know if someone could love me without it." Her eyes glistened. "And did you get your answer?" He stepped closer, vulnerability stripping away every ounce of pride. "Yes. The first night you told me about Liam's dinosaur phase instead of asking about my bank account. The moment you said starting over was brave. When you cared about me, broke or not." Silence lingered between them. "I was afraid," he admitted, "not of losing money, of losing something real." Maya's voice softened. "You should have trusted me with the truth." "You're right." It wasn't a grand billionaire speech, no promises of mansions, no dramatic gestures.
just honesty. Chapter 5. Choosing Love. Weeks passed. Ethan didn't use his wealth to win her back. Instead, he showed up, to Liam's school presentation, to Maya's late shifts with coffee in hand, to everyday life. No limousines, no headlines. Just presence. Slowly, she saw the man behind the fortune, and one evening, as Liam proudly showed off a new science award, Maya turned to Ethan and said, "You don't have to pretend with us." Relief flooded him. He knelt beside Liam. "How would you feel about upgrading that volcano project to a real science lab someday?" Liam gasped. "For real?" Maya laughed through happy tears. For the first time, Ethan didn't feel like a billionaire searching for authenticity. He felt like a man who had finally found home. And this time, there was no test, only love.